What's up guys, Rome 2 Master here, about to bring you some Shogun 2 Empire action. This is the second game that I fought against Trolley Boli, and in the first game I played as Pergamon, he played as Odrysian Kingdom, and he won. So I decided to exact some revenge against him, and this is the grudge match. I have taken Ardiaei in this matchup, and I'm fighting up against Syracuse. Now, especially in the comment section for the Colchian Nobles video, many people were quick to say that Colchis is actually a pretty decent faction. Some even said that it's better than Ardiaei. And that, in my opinion, that is just completely not true. While Ardiaei, what Ardiaei lacks in versatility, it makes up for in just sheer strength in Hoplites and very, very, very good low-tier melee infantry, which is another very important aspect of your army. So with Ardiaei, you can bring some really very powerful spammy armies. You can see I've got a front line of a shit ton of incredibly well-armored Hoplites. I've got 3 Illyrian nobles, right, I believe. 1, 2, 3 on my left flank. And 4, 5 Illyrian noble Hoplites and like 3 Illyrian Hoplites. An Illyrian spearman and an Illyrian marine. A couple of Illyrian cavalry. And 3 mercenary Celtic, and 4 mercenary Celtic and 3 mercenary axe warriors. So imagine that you have the absolute beasts of low tier infantry, which are the Celtic warriors and axe warriors. You have some of the strongest, Hoplite in units in the game, Illyrian Noble. Actually, I would probably say that they are probably the most cost-effective, or the second most cost-effective Hoplite unit, after maybe Colchian Nobles or Massilian Hoplites. And then you have Illyrian Marines, of course, the Thuria Spear equivalent. Thuria Spears are always very effective when brought in, like, 1 or 2 to destroy the enemy cavalry. Not that you would have any problem with cavalry. Your Illyrian Noble Hoplites and Illyrian Hoplites will just completely destroy any cavalry that's there. They will also destroy most infantry, simply due to pure strength. And then if you can't do that, I mean, if they don't hold up well, you can of course use your mercenary axe warriors and Celtic warriors to completely destroy almost any mid-tier infantry. Now, they won't win up against Boii or Tillis. They'll absolutely dominate over Colchis, because with Cartly Axemen, some terrible melee infantry units like Cartly Axemen and regular Axemen, they will win. Noble Blood Cavalry Hippias Lancers won't do a damn thing to Illyrian Noble Hoplites. And the Colchian nobles cannot afford, they just can't win a game by themselves. Sure, they can bring Eastern Slingers and Eastern Archers. What are you going to do against units that have 105 armor and 115 armor? You can't do anything. For the same reason, bringing like Chimeria is also not going to be a good idea against them. They will lose to Massilia. I would say that Massilia is probably a stronger faction than them. They will definitely win out against Athens and Syracuse. Much stronger faction than Athens and Syracuse, in my opinion. Not nearly as diverse or as versatile. They don't have access to good skirmishers. They don't have access to even semi-decent cavalry. But they just have really, really strong low-tier infantry, mid-tier spears, and elite-tier spears, which is why I think they are a pretty decent faction. Especially only if you're willing to spam with them. If you're willing to spam a really spammy, cheap army like this, then they can be very dominant. So with Syracuse, Trolley Boli has brought a couple of citizen cav. He has brought 2 thorax swordsmen and 2 mercenary veteran hoplites on his flanks. He's brought 1 slinger, 2 slingers, and 1 Balearic slinger. And you can see my Illyrian Marines are already firing into the rear of these, of some of the citizen cav, destroyed a couple of citizen cav, and now they're firing into the thorax swordsman here. I'm waiting for the thorax swordsman to try and charge in, and then I'm going to pull out, and then bring my Illyrian Hoplite here, or Illyrian Noble Hoplite to charge into them. Illyrian Noble Hoplite will do very well against thorax swordsman. And they will get a pretty decent charge. I just need to pop Hoplite phalanx onto them, and then they'll get that bonus versus infantry. And now against the mercenary veteran Hoplites, my mercenary Celtic warrior will do very, very well. Meanwhile, on this side, my Illyrian cavalry are going to charge into his citizen cavalry, then bringing my Illyrian Hoplites. Here, Illyrian noble Hoplites are going to destroy the mercenary veterans. And here, a combination of my mercenary Celtic warriors and Illyrian, my mercenary Celtic warriors will lose to thorax swordsmen. But besides that, they should be able to hold out for a long enough time. Mercenary Celtic warriors charging into Balearic Slinger is not going to do well. And his main line can keep firing into my Illyrian Noble Hoplites for hours and hours, and nothing will happen because they're just so well armored. And let's pause this and just take a look at what he has in his main line. He's got Thorax Hoplites in as the front line. Then he's got 4 Thorax Swordsmen and a Thorax Hoplite General. Compare that with mine and my much more superior spear units. Not so superior mercenary Celtic and Axe Warriors, but still it's going to be a much better trade for me in my opinion. Here, Illyrian Marines going to fire into the rear of Thorax Swordsmen, who have been taking a huge beating against Illyrian Noble Hoplites. You can see 55 kills with these guys, hardly taking any casualties. Mercenary Veteran Hoplites getting 30 kills on Celtic Warriors, but this is, you know, Celtic Warriors should be able to do very well in this engagement, even though Mercenary Veteran Hoplites are more than double the price of those guys. Here, Noble Hoplites are going to charge into Thorax Hoplites, and then I'm going to bring in Axe Warriors to support. Pop in Hoplite Phalanx, and this is just going to overpower the Thorax Hoplites. Meanwhile, the flanks are mine. It's not been easy for Trolley Boley. So Illyrian Noble Hoplites General getting 24 kills, losing 9 men. I have an Illyrian cavalry, ready. Mercenary Celtic Warriors not done too much. They are wavering now, but they've held off the Mercenary Veteran Hoplites, while my Marines and my Illyrian Noble Hoplites can get a rear charge on them. Pulled out some of my Illyrian Hoplites, and now I'm ready to just gang up on this flank and completely destroy it. This is going to be a huge grind out fight against Thorax Hoplites and Illyrian Noble Hoplites that the Illyrian Noble Hoplites are sure to win. So far, it's 97 kills. 97 men left on the Hoplites. Thorax Hoplites down to 61 men. Now I can afford to pull out a lot of my units. And since he managed to create a gap with his Thorax Swordsman, I can just use my Mercenary Celtic Warriors to stop them from rear charging my Illyrian Nobles, and then I can just gang up with the sheer huge numbers of cheap, very cost-effective melee infantry that you get access to with Ardiaei. Noble Hoplites Gen 66 kills. They're just so incredibly aggressive for a Hoplite unit, which is why I really like them. Probably, like the Heroes of Sparta and Royal Spartans are more aggressive than them, but they're not as cost effective because these units don't really cost that much. Illyrian Hoplites, 32 kills against Thorax Hoplites. These units, the Illyrian Hoplites cost less than the Thorax Hoplites, but they will do just as well because Ardiaei and because DLC faction. I don't know. Illyrian Hoplite is going to charge into Thorax Swordsman here, and then I'm going to support with the Illyrian Marines, and then rear charge or maybe even get access and hit his skirmishers with my Illyrian cavalry. Illyrian Noble Hoplites versus Mercenary Veteran Hoplites. Illyrian Hoplites down to 64 men, gotten 108 kills on a mixture of Thorax Swordsmen and Mercenary Veteran Hoplites. Mercenary Veteran Hoplites themselves have done well against those cheap, cost-effective Celtic warriors. My Illyrian Noble Hoplites General I think he's taken a charge against from these Thorax Hoplites, so they're going to do pretty decently here. But I have Mercenary Axe Warriors left. They can rear charge. I've got Illyrian Cavalry here. I didn't need to use my Illyrian Cavalry at all because I just had so many spears and so many swords that Syracuse just didn't stand a chance. It's just simple strength in numbers, and that's very easy. That's a very easy strategy for you to win a game. Illyrian Cavalry taking quite a bit of damage from slingers and Mercenary Balearic slingers, but of course I have more. So ganging up on Thorax Swordsman here, ganging up on the General. Axe Warriors will do so brilliantly on a rear charge. The reason why I like Axe Warriors and not Cartly Axemen, even though Axe Warriors are one-handed axes as well, is because they have really good stats for their price. Now Cartly Axemen are quite overpriced. They're underpowered. Mercenary Axe Warriors, they have only 26 weapon damage. I thought they had 32 weapon damage. What happened to their weapon damage? Is it still 13 and 13? It's 16 and 10. Huh. Weird. Still, I mean, for their price of, I believe, 470 talents, it's hard to go wrong with them. I think my Hoplite General Illyrian Hoplite General is routed. The Thorax Hoplites is down to 67 men. But the game's over. I mean, so many units left. My General recently died, but these guys have Encourage. They don't have Discipline, but when you have Encourage like all across the field, look at this. Look at the blue circles here. When you have so many units that have Encourage, General recently dying is not nearly as bad a penalty as it might be in any other circumstance. No, I mean, yeah, it's. I'm not saying that Ardiaei is a good faction by any means necessary. Uh, or wait, that does make sense. I'm not saying Ardiaei is a good faction in any case. It's a mediocre faction. It's an average faction. I lost to oh man Ardiaei, man. It brings me some really bad memories. I lost to Achilles, and he brought Ardiaei. I brought Boya. I still have no idea how I lost that game. By the way, I got clean charges with my general. The noble Hoplites don't have. Oh, they do have expert charge defense. Yeah, so maybe that is the reason. Although I don't know, no idea. I just choose not to think about it. But Ardiaei, 99% of the times, Ardiaei will never beat Celtic faction. Maybe Iceni will lose to Ardiaei, but it can win out against even Macedon, in my opinion. Um, just because it's such a pure. If you bring pure spammy builds with Ardiaei, it's very hard to go wrong. Macedon, they just don't have the sheer numbers of incredibly cost-effective units that Ardiaei has access to, especially with Celtic warriors and axe warriors and Illyrian noble hoplites. Deadly combination there. Athens, no chance. Syracuse, no chance. They have better mid-tier infantry, but the mid-tier infantry is not as cost-effective as the low-tier infantry. Colchis, absolutely no chance in my opinion. Noble blood, maybe if you use your Hippias lances very well and just destroy the Celtic and axe warriors, maybe. Even then, very, very doubtful. What other faction? Like, these guys won't stand up to any barbarian faction. These guys won't stand up to Rome. These guys won't stand up to Bactria. Maybe they might stand up to Bactria, but I mean, it's going to be very hard, in my opinion. Parthia, with the sheer strength of Cataphracts, I think can beat them. Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, Parthian foot archers. Using 5 Parthian foot archers, no matter how armored your units are, can destroy anything. These guys will probably lose out to Pontus because side chariots, unless you because the Illyrian noble hoplites don't have formation attack, so that might make them lose their bracing a bit. So that might be an interesting matchup. Pontus versus Ardiaei could be an interesting matchup for sure. Anyways, guys, that's the end of this battle. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more. Peace.